Hello. Today we're going to try and draw a little speaker. This is your job for class today. So I've got in front of me like a little UE boom here. So I'm going to draw something a little bit like this. So I'll try and draw like a little orange bit down here and then the pink speaker. So we'll have a go at drawing this. So I've got Rhino open here and we're going to start by drawing some circles. So I'll do some other little videos with like simple things like rotate and that, but this is just to try and draw the speaker. So first thing is we're going to draw a circle. Here's a circle tool and we're going to click in this top view. We're going to click once. It's asking for the center of the circle. Click once and then yours will probably say radius. So if you click here it will change to diameter and then you can write in a diameter. So I'm in millimeters, right? And so if I measure my speaker here, I have currently 65 millimeters, so I just write in 65 on my keyboard. Just tap on my keyboard, I don't need to click up there, press enter, and then I have a circle. So if some of you I've shown ZAE, so I press Z, spacebar, A, spacebar, E, spacebar, it zooms all my windows to fit, ZAE. Right, I now have a surface here, which is, a circle, which I'm going to need to turn into a surface. So I want to create a surface from this circle. So the most simple surface tool, if I click and hold here, is underneath there. Right, surface from planar curves. So you click that one, click here, press enter when I'm done, and now I have a surface. If your surface looks like this, it's because this viewport needs to be shaded. So if you right click where it says perspective here, you can change this to shaded. It colors it in for you. If you right click with your mouse and move it around, it will spin the drawing like this. If you hold two fingers on your mouse and roll backwards and forwards, it will zoom in and out like that. Now we have to turn this into a tube. Okay, so we're going to get this and we're going to push it up. So we're going to extrude, it's called extrude from this point, and we're going to push it through here. So to do that, that's underneath here, right down the bottom, extrude solid. So we're going to do this one. So I'm just holding my mouse, let go, select the surface to extrude. So that one, press enter when you're done, enter. Right, then it's going up and down a distance. Okay, I can either click, or go a certain distance, or I can put a number in. Make sure this says solid. If it doesn't say solid, it's just going to extrude a pipe rather than a solid thing. So I'm going to measure my UE boom again. You can put in the same numbers if you want, or your own numbers. So that's 180. So 180, enter. Okay, Z-A-E. There is my tube. Okay, but I need, so that's the pink tube. I'm going to change the color of it so we can see it. So I click it, color over here, click that little black box. Oops, something's disappeared onto the other screen. You get a little window like this. Should be able to find pink in here, magenta, lovely. Right, now we have a tube like this. But now we need the orange bit at each end. Right, so that sticks out a little bit. It's a little bit wider. So I need to make a slightly bigger circle and I need to cut the circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another circle and I'm going to make sure that it's snapping to where it says, it doesn't help to point at the screen, does it? You can't see that. To where it says center. So if it's not doing that, it's because that button there is not turned on. See, no center. Click that, now center, very good. Okay, so this needs to be out here a little bit. So I'm going to measure this again. So my circle now needs to be 70. 70. Right, so up here you can see I've got a slightly bigger circle. Now I don't want this one to go all the way around because that would be a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in a minute. I'm going to make the surface first and then I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to surface between there and there. Same thing again, underneath here, planar surface, or planar curves. Select the curves. So mine's at the top, yours might be at the top or the bottom. So I've got that one and that one. So two curves this time. Press enter when I'm done. Surface is made. Okay, so I have a surface here. So I could extrude that all the way down, but that would just cover this whole thing. I don't want to cover that whole thing, I just want this bit. So I need to cut that surface here and here. So I have to tell it where I want it to cut it. So I'm going to draw a couple of lines. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click just here where it says endpoint, and I'm going to hold down shift. See how shift makes it nice and straight? Shift on, shift off, shift on, shift off, shift on, shift off. Click. So I have a line here. Right, this is going to be the start of my cutting tool. Drag it, shoing, that way. Right, it's now overlapping, so it's going to act like a little knife. Need to know how far out to cut it, so I'm going to measure across here. So this is 35 millimeters wide. So I want one 35 millimeters. I want a line there, and then I want another line 35 millimeters that way. So half of 35 is 17.5. So I'm going to use a tool called offset, and offset is in here. Right, all of these things, once you've remembered them, you just need to remember the word offset. So I can either click here, or I can just start writing offset. Okay, offset. Distance 17.5. The cool thing about Rhino, if you wanted to just do 35 divided by 2, you could just go 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5. So click there. Now I need another cutter over here, so I do the same command again. To repeat the command, I just press enter or spacebar or write offset, but I'm just going to hit spacebar. Click on this side. If you look here, I now have two cutters, one cutter, two cutter. So I want to split this surface. So I just write split, S-P-L-I-T, enter. Select the object to split. So I want to select this object. Press enter when I'm done, enter. Select the cutting objects. This is a cutting object, and this is a cutting object. Press enter when done. Ta-da! Okay, now I have one here, and one here. So I don't need that one anymore. Delete. Boom. This one, we now need to extrude down there. So go E-X-T-R-U-D-E. Extrude surface. So there's extrude curve and there's extrude surface. We're working with a surface, so we've got to extrude surface. Enter. I can either write my number in. I've forgotten the number, so I'm just going to click down the bottom here. Click. There we go. So we now have the side. I'll change the color of that to orange. Apply. Ooh, so we're getting close to this. We're going to put a plus and a minus, and then we're going to call it quits. We're not going to worry about the orange on the top and the bottom at the moment. Plus and a minus. So how do we do a plus and a minus? Text over here. Click the text. It's going to give you a little box. So I want a plus. So I just write a plus. I have to decide the height. So the height of the letter. So if you remember, that was 35 millimeters. So if I'm going to measure my plus. So my plus is like 27. So click height 27 plus, and I'm going to want it as a solid, and I'm going to make it 1 millimeter thick. Enter. And then so long as, so if I'm in this view, it will go on the top surface. If I'm in this view, it will go on the front surface, and if on this view, it will go on the right surface. So I want it to be on the right surface. So I'm going to put it, and I'm going to click. It's probably going to end up in the wrong place, but I'm going to click there. So I can see it here. You see it's kind of tucked away in there. So I can come up to the top view and I can drag it. We can just guess this at the moment. So I'm going to drag it to there. And I'm going to drag it so it's in the middle. Oops. Please drag. Okay, don't drag then. Just stay where you are. Alright, so I have a plus. Same again. Text. Minus. Apply. Oh, that's an ugly minus, isn't it? It'll do. Drag. Okay, there's my plus and my minus. Sure, it's not quite as glamorous as this, but it's a plus and a minus. Very good. I'm going to delete this so I can see it nice and pretty. There's my speaker. Z, A, E, all my views are drawn to there. Okay, I'm going to do you another video now. So if you get that far, awesome.